Right, welcome back. The North Gauteng High Court in Pretoria has ordered that interviews for the position of the head of the National Director of Public Prosecutions be held in public. The Right to Know campaign challenged President Cyril Ramaphosa's decision to hold them behind closed doors. The lobby group also said the media must be allowed access to the decision-making process. Dr. Dale McKinley is Right to Know spokesperson. He is in studio with us. It is good to have you here. Well done for yesterday.
Thanks, Leanne, and thanks to the listeners.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's important that this was granted and that the media did have access and it wasn't held in secret. But what was your logic behind going and appealing this?
Well, we felt that, if you look at the last 10 years, a lot of the problems that we've experienced with executive appointments and with people who've been in charge of state-owned enterprises and Chapter 9 institutions has been a secrecy, that the public hasn't been able to be part of the process of choosing or at least influencing that choice. And so we felt that in this case, given the really importance of this position, that it would be an important precedent-setting thing to get the courts to rule that yes, the media and the public should have access to these interviews. We should be able to know what's going on, what kinds of questions are being asked, and how people can perform so we can see who's possibly the best person for the job. And we were very, very pleased that the judge agreed with us. We think this is an important affirmation of not only media freedom, but of our right to know, in this case, with people that hold very important positions in our society.
All right, I don't want to waste too much time. We know the results. It's
Sure.
happening. 20 media organizations are allowed there. They've got to arrive. I saw the mail coming through last night saying you've got to get there. It's a first come, first served basis, and we'll try and make sure it's across the board. But that should be interesting for the media to get in there. Let's talk about the candidates.
Sure.
But first up, Glynis Breitenbach last night, a decision to withdraw. Why? After consulting with the party. Surely the party knew about this already.
Well, it is a bit surprising. I mean, I think she certainly has the history. She certainly has the capacity to fill this job. Maybe they felt that given these open hearings that she would get a battering, or that things might come out that she didn't want to deal with, or the party didn't want to deal with. I'm not quite sure what their tactical reasoning was here, but in this case, maybe she's sort of keeping her powder dry and seeing what's going to happen, and keeping her sort of energy for the political realm as opposed to this position.
All right, okay, so that's that. She's out of the running, but we still have 11 candidates. I want to try and get through as many as we can. I suppose the good starting point is the incumbent now, the acting, Silas Ramaite. He's got a lot hanging over his head right now, and we talk about sex tapes that are apparently around 2011. He was also in trouble with the law after a drunk driving charge, but nonetheless, he's still in the acting position. Does he stand a good chance?
I don't think he's really a serious candidate, and I was very surprised. I think we were quite surprised to see him on the list. And the reason why is not simply because of these controversies, but because of his age. He is in the twilight of his career. He, in fact, had announced informally that he was going to resign next year, that he was going to retire. And so it's quite strange that he's been put there. Yes, he's more than capable of doing the job. I think he would be a steady hand. But in terms of sweeping the carpet, basically sweeping things clean and everything, I don't think he would be the right person. I would be very seriously surprised if he would be on the short list.
All right, so that remains to be seen whether he'll take it up. But Andrew Chauke, Advocate Andrew Chauke, now DPP for South Gauteng.
A very controversial character, known Zuma sympathizer, supporter, and someone who is sort of, if you look at his history, has been involved in some controversies with regards to some of the decisions he took in relation to corruption charges with some of the crew under the Zuma administration. So again, I think this is a political move.
Yeah.
It's sort of Chauke as well as Advocate Noko, and these two are quite controversial. They come from the past. If Cyril Ramaphosa is interested in moving beyond that past, I think these two are names that are sort of there to balance things, but I'm not quite sure that they would be seriously considered.
It was quite a surprise seeing a name like this coming up as well, Advocate Andrew Chauke, and as you mentioned. So those two we're not sure of, but they're there, and they're obviously in the running, so it'll be interesting to see what happens there.
Indeed.
Advocate Shamila Batohi. Now, this, I think, is quite an interesting one for people that perhaps don't know much about her. She's been away. She's been at the International Criminal Court for a while, since 2009. So that might be against her. But she was quite senior in the prosecution of Hansi Cronje.
Yes, taking our memories way back.
Yeah, way back, indeed.
But she has had a fairly stellar career. I mean, as you said, at the International Criminal Court as the senior legal advisor. I think she is untainted in some ways, which is a plus for her.
It's a good thing.
She has been out of all of this maelstrom and these factional fighting. So I think she's got the credentials. I think she's a strong candidate. And it's about time, I think, that we possibly have a female in this position. I don't think, if my memory serves me correctly, we haven't had one at the NDPP. So that's another plus for Advocate Batoyi.
Yes, certainly. And we haven't, and the men haven't done us too well in that position,
they haven't.
have they?
No, they have not.
Yeah, I'm glad you agree. Andrea Johnson, why are we talking about women? Advocate Andrea Johnson, she's a fiery prosecutor, that one. I mean, we've seen her working with Gerrie Nel, a lot with Gerrie Nel. She was there with the Oscar Pistorius trial. I think she was also there at the time of Jackie Celebi, and she worked for the Scorpions, so she's got good credentials there.
Yes, there are a number of candidates, including Advocate Johnson, that are, I think, very, very experienced and have a very good track record. And that makes her, I think, a good possibility to consider. She's someone, again, who doesn't seem to be wrapped up in the politics, per se. But it would be a hard sell, I think, for the ANC constituency and the politics that Ramaphosa is having to answer there to take her all the way through.
All right, so Advocate Rodney de Kock, Western Cape DPP.
Again, someone who's described as very competent, very fair. I don't think he has the political capital, and I don't think he probably is someone who's going to be going all the way through to the final list. But again, it's good to see that we have a very wide range of capable individuals who've got a lot of experience, and he's certainly one of them. But I don't think that politically he's going to cut it.
Okay. Siyobulela Mapoma, he's currently the advocate in, I think, Bishu.
That's right. He's gone into private. He's been a magistrate. He's been a private prosecutor. He's gone through the system. I think he was with the Scorpions at one point.
Yeah.
Someone who he's probably got a lot of support within the ANC, I think. Again, who's not tainted politically. So, but again, his age might count against him a bit. And the fact that he's been sort of out there in the secondary circuits in the Eastern Cape, and he hasn't been sort of within the power circles, but maybe again that would count for him.
It could be something going for him. I think in pretty much on the same boat, Mike Makaria, also an attorney.
Not much is known about
exactly.
Mike Makaria.
I tried to find something.
We all tried to find a lot of things about this man, and he seems to be quite a ghost, actually. So we can't say much about him.
Could be a dark horse. We don't know. Matrick Lupendo, he's a chief prosecutor in Pretoria for about over a decade. People say he's got integrity.
Someone described him as a very steady hand.
Yeah?
He's made a lot of good decisions prosecutorially and otherwise. Again, he would be a safe bet. But I think if Ramaphosa and the panel, they're going to, I think, 2 or 3 names they've got to give the president. So I think if he wants to be bold, I think he'll go with a female candidate, someone who's from outside, who's going to come in and sweep things clean. If he wants to be safe, well, he's going to go with one of the more experienced hands.
Okay, and then I think we've got one, I don't know if it's one left, I'm hoping. It's Naomi Manaka.
Ah, yes.
People are saying that she's strong, she's no nonsense. She's an advocate in Sandton. She was she played in the Benedict Vilakazi rape trial as well.
That's correct.
Yeah, what do you think of her?
Don't know a great deal about her. I don't think we all do, but from the colleagues and everything, she, as you say, seems to be a strong candidate. I think she's one of the up-and-coming candidates. I'm not quite sure she'll make this cut, but certainly she's one to watch in the future. Not if it's not for this position, for certainly another one.
Can I read into your answers to me? Advocate Shamila Batohi, is that your favorite?
I think that she's possibly one of the strongest candidates, and I think she would make a very, very good prosecutorial authority.
Thank you for putting your neck on the line and answering that question for me. So let's see what happens. The interviews are happening today, and there's a deadline. When is that deadline? It has to be appointed by?
I think it's with
it's
early December.
Early December. It is. It's soon.
December,
so this has to be a fast process, and it needs to happen. It needs to happen now. Thanks for talking to us, Dale.
My pleasure.
A pleasure to have you. Speeding that one along. I know we've got an important interview to come up. Now we're talking Dagga. So I know that's important. You know, and I know that's an important conversation. And we've got Sakina who's coming in to talk about the decriminalization of Dagga, but some of the bad side effects that you can get with smoking Dagga. Do stay tuned.